This man is chasing the traffic policeman who confiscated, or in essence stole, his electric bike. His screams are of genuine anguish, as this is his livelihood that has just been destroyed. China's delivery men are a phenomenon like no other. This delivery man stepped in to help a woman who had fainted. What he's doing to her upper lip is a very common way to wake someone from unconsciousness. This delivery driver passed out from exhaustion in the early afternoon. Countless people walked past him, and it wasn't till evening when another delivery driver checked up on him and found out that in fact he had passed away. He was well known for making close to 100 deliveries a day to that apartment complex. He was only 55 years old and died of exhaustion. There's an untold story to China's delivery men, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Believe it or not, the delivery men in China are, and I'm going to say this on record, the nicest, most genuine, most heroic, and also some of the most downtrodden people in China. Let me explain. China's surge in delivery men is a very recent phenomenon, brought about by the failing economy and lack of jobs/careers in China. I personally witnessed the birth of this massive industry during my stay in China and saw it grow hand on fist as China's economy slowed down. In the beginning, it was a job for people who lacked the qualifications or abilities to get an office job. But as the economy worsened and jobs became scarce, I started to see everyone from highly qualified university graduates to uneducated farmers from the countryside don the yellow and blue uniforms of a delivery driver. Truly, it didn't matter how educated or qualified you were. Being a delivery man was the only viable option to make ends meet. We're going to talk heroics and tragedy in a moment. But first, a reliable way to get your news. We are bombarded by news every day. Forces on both sides of the political spectrum want to rope you into their way of thinking. You know, at times it feels like a massive football match with your opinion as the winning goal. Luckily, there's Ground News, a revolutionary way to know where your news is coming from. Ground News is a website and app that gathers articles from over 50,000 news sources around the world and can help you read between the lines of media bias and break free from algorithms and echo chambers. Take a look here. If I search China news, I got a whole bunch of China news here, and it's kind of interesting. I can see which articles are completely ignored by the left and which articles are completely ignored by the right, and articles that are coming out that are very central. If I click on this China's lending to Africa rises for the first time in 7 years article, I can actually see there's no right-wing coverage of this for some reason, but it's kind of split between the center and the left. I can see exactly which news sources this came from and who posted it first, which is kind of interesting because it's this China Global South thing. Well, let's also take a look at the factuality. I like the fact that you can see that the factuality of this is something like 83%. I really like the different headlines as well. We can see how they change. For instance, the Reuters headline says China's lending to Africa rises for the first time in 7 years, study shows. And the VOA News headline says China's lending to Africa increased in 2023, study shows. It's just kind of interesting to be able to break down the differences of this one particular story. I really do like Ground News, and I think it's a fantastic tool for anybody to use. Please go to ground.news/serpentza to see through the media bias and better understand the world. Subscribe through my link for 40% off unlimited access this month. And now, back to the show. China has a lot of mouths to feed. And ordering takeout food is quite often cheaper than cooking your own food. It's also incredibly convenient to order takeout. You can sit at your desk at work and order a meal delivered to your desk for around about $4.50. That's right, $4.50. And there's no tipping culture in China. So that's it. $4.50, your meal comes delivered to your office or home in a timely manner. But let's take a look at how much a delivery driver makes per delivery. So if the delivery is more than 3 kilometers away, they make 4.5 RMB, that's Chinese yuan, per delivery. Let me convert that for you. To deliver something about 2 miles away will earn you 63 cents. The average hardworking delivery driver can earn around 5,000 yuan a month. So let's work that out. In order to earn 5,000 yuan, which is $700 by the way, a driver would have to do 1,111 deliveries in a month. That's around 37 deliveries and 74 miles per day minimum, without weekends or long breaks. Of course, these are just rough numbers. I'm not taking into account the distances traveled to restaurants and returning back from deliveries, but I think you get the picture. To earn enough to pay rent and cover living expenses, you have to work non-stop all week and weekend, not including the upfront costs of buying your e-bike and the multiple times a day you have to pay for and charge your bike, as the range of these e-bikes are usually around 25 to 40 miles on a full charge. That is why, in the beginning, we saw how devastating it can be for a delivery man to lose his e-bike. These bikes cost around 5,000 RMB new, a whole month of hard work. Delivery drivers in China are also treated very poorly. If you're late, you're fined. People treat you as if you're a servant or even a slave. Security guards often tussle and fight with delivery drivers who simply are trying to deliver food. It can be a real mess, and in some cases it can lead to mass action, like the case where a delivery driver was forced to kneel and pay a 200 RMB fine to a security guard because they'd hopped the fence in order to go and make a delivery. His fellow delivery drivers came to his defense. We can all agree that this is a tough and thankless job, but something interesting started to happen. More and more, we see delivery drivers come to the rescue. China has a terrible problem when it comes to acts of kindness and heroism. I should say a massive lack thereof. I'm sure you've seen countless videos of people in need being ignored and passed by. But there's an exception to this rule. Delivery drivers have started to step in and be the heroes China so desperately needs. From helping old men cross dangerous roads to saving families from burning buildings, China's downtrodden delivery drivers are restoring trust in humanity. I can only think this is because they themselves understand what it's like to be in a difficult situation and could truly empathize with those in need. China's delivery men, which so many people rely on, are finally reaching a breaking point. And people are starting to sympathize, or at least recognize, that what they're taking part in is really just a modern form of slavery. Solutions have yet to be found, but voices are starting to speak out and be heard. Next time you see an overweight foreign shill gleefully smacking his lips as he brags about how cheaply he can get his McDonald's delivered to his door in China, remember that he's taking advantage of a system that treats people like slaves, chews them up and discards them when they can no longer keep up with the relentless pace of China's online food delivery system. To all the genuine, hard-working food delivery men and women of China, I have always admired your ability to endure the hardships and challenges your job makes you face every day. I salute you and hope you do finally get treated in a manner deserving of your daily sacrifice. And to my audience, I hope I've given you a little bit of insight into the tragic lives of China's delivery men. Stay awesome.